Now a lot further up the grid this time round, and Craig Lowndes, he makes an appearance on the second row. Alan Jones, AJ, with a big run yesterday and puts him in a much better position for the starting lineup. Larry Perkins sits beside him. Larry Russell Ingall behind his boss, and Johnny Faulkner. On row 4, let's have a look. Peter Dillman and Tony Longhurst, who actually started yesterday's race from pole. Stephen Ellery and Max Dumsey. Row 6, Steve Richards, his father sitting beside me. Mark Larkham there too, in the Mitre 10 car. Paul Romano in the second of AJ's team, and David Parsons. Row 8, big field this one. Kevin Heffernan and John Trimble. Row 9, Dickie Johnson, way back because of problems yesterday, and Bob Jones. So Dickie Johnson, he's going to be cranked up and ready to go. And as we go through the end of the grid here, well, we'll get some lovely pictures today out of the currents and telemetry, also coming out of Dick Johnson's car, because he's going to start from a long way back. That could be interesting. Mark Scaife also a long way back. Cars lining up now. Jimmy Richards beside me. Jeff Brabham is beside me. Pictures coming out of Dick Johnson's car. And this should be an explosive start, let me tell you that. Mark Scaife will provide some pictures also out of the Sega car. The race distance, 32 kilometres, laps 6. Well, fellas, we've got a new grid lineup, so we should see an exciting first couple of corners.
No, I think we will, Daz. Young Mark will be very keen to get to the front. Yesterday we thought he had tyre trouble, but it wasn't. It was a kaput clutch.
And it's going to be interesting to watch everyone off the start, because I think getting to the first corner first is going to go a long way to winning this race. All
right, set they go. Brocky gets the power down, and look at Johnny Bow comes out from the centre of the pitch. AJ gets a good start too. Craig Lowndes hustles and muscles his way through. Larry Perkins, oh, it's all go here. All trying to come through for the first corner. Brock gets sideways, and Lowndes has been launched. He's gone. Lowndes under the grass, got absolutely launched as they come round. Had to happen off the line. Everybody trying hard.
No, everyone tries real hard into the first corner, and it's bound to be a few touches there, but Craig was real unlucky.
And Glenn Seaton, I don't know what happened to him at the start, but he was still standing still, and here we go again. It's
Jones this time. Alan Jones has gone round and round and round, and he's gone out of it. I don't know if he'll get it back from there, AJ. Yes, he's driving it out now. He'll be filthy on that. He was really looking for a big start. He went to a hard tyre compound yesterday. It took a while to get going, and he'll be absolutely annoyed that that's happened.
No, they're going everywhere. I'd say that there's some damage to either Larry Perkins or Russell Ingall over there. He's parked outside the circuit, but it's going to be all on from now on.
All right, we see Mark Scaife is still on the circuit there in the white car coming back, but at the pack, as the pack come into this fast part here, we'll pick up the leaders in a moment. Glenn Seaton is there as the field streams through. Well, we expected some chaos because of the cars, the way they were placed way back. This is Peter Brock, Johnny Bow. What a matchup.
No, great stuff. Even young Steve got a terrific start. I think he's in about 5th place.
You know, with all the bumping and banging that went on in the beginning of the race, these two have really broken clear now, and the race is definitely going to be between these two. And I think in the last race yesterday, John Bow definitely looked one of the strongest towards the end of the race, so keep an eye on him. Yeah,
Johnny Bow made some big inroads yesterday. Had to come from a long way back. Peter Brock just came in second. Now, here we go. Here's the incident. Jimmy Richards.
Right, well, I'm just trying to figure out who it was that actually touched Craig there. Tony and Craig got together. Tony Longhurst.
That's Tony Longhurst there, the big Falcon, and there's Lowndes. He really got launched.
Yeah, he really did. It looks like one of the Castrol Holden cars touched him there, and it could have been the same car that pulled off the track a little later during that lap.
Well, we did expect some biff and bars, but this is not over yet. Look at Johnny Bow, and the Falcon now gets right underneath Peter Brock's Holden, and Brock would want to dearly win here in front of his Victorian home crowd. You see him have a big look in the mirror now. Bow gets a thing up beside him. Now under brakes. Brocky will have the line for the corner. Bow tries to tuck in and get another run. Nothing much between these two cars. Stones and gravel all over the track. That could have a big bearing on it.
No, it will, and Johnny Bow is usually the hardest guy to pass on a racetrack, so he's going to get a bit of his own back in this one, I think.
Yeah, I was just going to say the same myself. You know, John's always been very hard to pass, and sometimes when that role's reversed, the driver in front doesn't give you any favours just to get the road back.
Those little stones on the track, you really got to hit them at the right angle. It's like driving onto ice.
Yes, it is. But as soon as one or two cars have gone through, Daz, they virtually remove themselves on the racing line, and it's all okay.
John's in a good position here. No, he didn't quite make it.
Johnny Bow came up on the inside, couldn't get through. Peter Brock still holds the door firmly ajar, not closed, just ajar. Brock, Bow, Ingle, that's how they run. Seaton, Ellery and Stephen Richards now. That's made the old man feel happier because he's up on the leaderboard in the top 6. Oh, and back further. Everybody's still having a big go. Craig Lowndes is off again. He'll be getting giddy.
Well, he's just trying so hard to make up the ground that he's lost. He was overtaking some obviously slower cars, and they just didn't see him coming.
Yeah, and he had a pretty big biff in the side of his door there when he spun around. You can see that. So I think he's just about done now. Time he gets himself organised from this, it's going to be a long way back.
Johnny Bow now, here we go again. Watch this. There's Lowndes, just comes in and loses it. And there's a lot of damage on that car.
No, there is, but I think most of the damage was done by the first impact on the first corner. So he'll be right, he'll keep going.
Johnny Bow now all over the back of Peter Brock. He's looking for every which way he can. Brocky hassles him on the inside, then on the outside. Here's the battle of power now as they come down this long, fast part of the straight. Peter Brock in the hold and everybody up and cheering. The Ford fans go up now as Johnny Bow tries to get a wider line and come out quicker. Swings it there. Look at him all over the back of Brock. Brock doing a terrific job. He's just got to try and take his own lines and keep the Falcon behind him, and that's no mean feat.
No, it isn't. The driver in front obviously can drive anywhere he wants on the circuit to protect his line, but he can't deliberately balk or cut the other guy off. So Brocky's doing nothing wrong at all, but it's just very, very hard to pass in this situation.
And one of the things to watch for is with these two fighting each other up the front, they could be definitely slowing each other down. And looks like we might have a pass here. I think Bow's got the inside line, yes, and he makes a really good pass.
Johnny Bow.
Oh, and he went straight on.
Oh, no, he just got a bit wide there. He couldn't get it back on line. And Peter Brock says thank you. The lights get flashed too.
No, that's a good move by Brocky. He let him go on the inside. I think he realised he was probably going in a little bit too hot, and he's gone straight off wide. But he'll catch up.
Here's the replay.
Yeah, it's just got on. See, on the inside there, where the other cars don't really run that much, it's a lot more slippery than a normal racing line. And you know, John made a desperate dive down the inside, just didn't have the grip to turn the car when he got there.
No, exactly right, Jeff. But I think Bowie will catch up. He was obviously the fastest car on the circuit, so it won't be long before he's back onto Brocky again, giving him a hard time.
And Glenn Seaton's not far behind now, so maybe they'll all tow themselves up towards Peter.
Literally throwing the car out is Johnny Bow to make up the difference. Here comes Glenn Seaton, big winner yesterday. Russell Ingle in behind him, so Seaton we know has got the speed in the car if he can get in touch with him. How many laps we've got? There's still some to go, so we may have time yet. Ingle doing a good job in the other Castrol car.
Here comes Larry around pretty slow. Actually, this one's got a blind front tyre.
So Larry, the other car, out.
Yeah, I think he might have damaged that in the first corner with Craig Lowndes, and you know, finally, if you cut the tyre lad at it, it eventually gives up. So it looks like his race is run.
Johnny Bow now, as Jimmy predicted, closing the gap yet again on Peter Brock. So he's done a terrific job. He's had to make up a lot of territory when he lost that car, ran a wild line, and Brocky went through. Here comes Seaton on the charge. Ingle decides he's going to stay there. If he's going to play, he's got to stay in behind Seaton. So this race could develop in the last lap or so.
No, it certainly will. For sure, Glenn's going to catch up both Brocky and Bow, and Russell Ingle's doing a great job, and he has all year. So I would say these four cars on the last couple of laps are going to be right together.
Yeah, absolutely, and particularly when John catches Peter Brock, they're going to start fighting again, and these two are going to catch up even quicker.
Something about a V8, isn't there? Something about the roar of the V8s. The crowd are on their feet. All the international drivers out on the wall. They love them here. They love the sound of the V8s. We were saying yesterday, totally unique to Australia, but so good.
Just in the last corner, we've seen a shot of a car with the whole back of the car off the ground on the tyres. We're not sure who it was.
Actually, the drivers were all getting into trouble over the weekend because we're running, it looks like Craig Lowndes.
Craig Lowndes again. He's gone again and taken half the wall with him. I think he better get out and give it away for the day, Craig Lowndes. Yeah, that's three times
the officials were giving us a hard time, and they put these tyres on the racetrack during the weekend. So during the race here, there were some tyres out on the racetrack which weren't there before for the drivers.
No, that's right. In actual fact, I've got to go and see the stewards later for running onto the grass in my race.
Now look at this. Mark Scaife is now up to 6th place from the back of the grid. So that's been a good drive from Mark Scaife way back. We're looking at Glenn Seaton now. Peter Brock still in front. Johnny Bow doing everything he can, and it's blowing plenty of smoke as he charges up behind the Holden. Seaton's definitely closed the gap on Johnny Bow. So as Jeff predicted, as that fight continues here so intensely up front, and then Glenn Seaton's getting a chance to close on him. And look at Bow, what a drive from him. He's had to fight back from a mistake right up behind Brock again. Nothing much. They talk about parity in the class. Both these cars very even as Bow steams up the inside, but Brock will have the line.
Brock will have the line. I think with his experience, I'm going to go for Brock.
No, I think I might go for Johnny Bow. I think he's definitely the quickest of the two, and when it comes down to the last couple of laps, I think he's going to throw caution to the wind.
Hustle and muscle, that's what Johnny Bow's about. He's using all the circuit and then some as he clips up the dust. The crowd on their feet here. We've got a nail biter now. Glenn Seaton in his new colours of red, white and blue. The Ford credit car now coming into contention. Russell Ingall is doing a good job hanging there in fourth.
Russell's doing a great job. He's really surprised me this year. He's driven fast and consistent.
And one of the interesting things now, I really thought Glenn would catch up a little quicker right now. It almost looks like Peter stepped the pace up a little bit, so it's going to be interesting.
Steve Ellery in car 21 now comes up, so he's done a pretty good job too, the youngster, having a baptism of fire here at Albert Park, and the V8s are just sensational around here.
They sure are, and Mark Scaife's come up to 5th from 26th on the grid, which is a brilliant effort.
Yeah, great drive from Mark Scaife. We haven't seen much of it, but I tell you what, he's driving the wheels off that Holden Commodore. The Sega car started way back on the grid and now up at the 5th spot. So Seaton desperately trying to get in touch with the top two. Ingall doing a terrific job in fourth, hanging on. But here's the leading battle. Johnny Bowers just dropped back a fraction, getting a bit of room to move there. Here's Mark Scaife. What a drive this has been. Right off the back of the grid, and here he is. He's not that far behind. He's going to run out of laps, I think, but it's been a big effort.
No, it certainly has. You know, we thought he had some tyre trouble in the first race, but it wasn't. It was clutch trouble. So he's really doing a great job.
Well, you know this car pretty well. Tell us what you're looking at here.
Well, Mark's just concentrating real hard just to try and get up as close as he can to those front cars. But obviously he's not going to cash them. But that doesn't mean anything to Mark. He'll try hard right until the last lap.
He's always busy in the car, isn't he?
No, he is. He's that sort of driver. He's always on the ball and looking for any little advantage he can get.
On the final lap now, lap 6, as you ride with Mark Scaife. There's the area down the straight here past the pits. Look at the side of the crowd underneath the bridge. Now, these are the corners that have upset quite a few drivers over the weekend.
Yeah, they certainly have, and I must say, I think Jim's going to be right in his call of this race. It looks like Peter Brock was just saving just enough for the end of the race where he could just pull out that little bit extra and keep them behind.
You're right about that gravel. You can see a hole right through it now. They've been through it a couple of times.
No, that's right. Yeah, once one car's been through, it really doesn't worry you, because the line for all the cars around the corner, or the optimum line, is about the same for everybody.
Yeah, I think once the only problem the Stones are is once a lot of cars go through, then you have one line through there. But if you make a slight mistake, then where all the Stones are pushed out on the side, then you really are in big trouble.
Peter Brock opens the gap up now. Oh, won't he love to win here? They'll go mad.
No, they certainly will. What may have happened in this race, of course, John Bow may have started with 2 different compounds of tyres at practice, and he saved the softer ones for the shorter race, and they haven't quite worked as well as he would have liked. Started good, dropped off a little bit at the end.
So Peter Brock now opens the gap, and look at the crowd as you look down here at Albert Park. Unbelievable sight, and when you realise how big this area is, to fill it up with people, there are a lot of people here. Melbourne, fantastic. They have done a job this week like we have seen nowhere else in Australia at a major sporting event. Absolutely sensational job. So is Brock at the moment. Johnny Bow, Seaton closes up. I think you'll run out of time. We may see a last lap effort from Glenn Seaton. He's using all the track and then some. Listen to the crowd go up for Peter Brock, everybody's hero here at the moment, and the Holden's got it made. Round he comes down, they cheer him through, they will him on, and he's throwing it around too, putting on a good demonstration.
No, I think it's great for Pete. I mean, a lot of the guys are writing him off as, you know, a has-been, you might say, but he's just proved that he's as fast and as good as anybody out there.
Takes the checkered flag, Peter Brock, and wins down here at Albert Park. Johnny Bowers second. We had Glenn Seaton in third place. He made up a lot of ground. Look at the crowd. They've gone up. No doubt about who their hero is here. Peter Perfect has done it at Albert Park, and he pumps the head up. He waves to the crowd. Thanks to marshals. Johnny Bow with a great drive. Just couldn't get there. Glenn Seaton came from a long way back.
No, certainly did. A bad start for Glenn. I really think that had Glenn led off the mark, then he would have probably been the winner.
Well, we thank you to Jimmy Richards. Hope to see you back in action shortly. Congratulations, Jeff, on your great drive today. Jeff Brabham, thanks for your help in the commentary box. Right there it is, Peter Brock, Johnny Bow, Glenn Seaton, Ingalls, Scaife and Richards. That's how they finished the V8s. We love them here, but the Formula Ones are yet to come. So stay with us, Australia.